This week in AoE, we started off with a bang. We had Master of Realms last weekend, and this was a tournament that we've been looking forward to for a while because Master of Realms was the first unique time that we saw a very big variety of maps. So we got to see some new faces in the top 16, people we haven't seen around that much before. Cat, Zerton, CSO, and Baltoon, I would say. Those are the players that we've seen around in the scene here and there, but they haven't really made it to a top 16 event such as this one, because this one is quite prestigious. And honestly, what blew us away is the fact that Kiliardi made it through the group. So the first weekend started off with a bang. We had a few upsets. Now, to be expected, Marine Lord did 3-0 his opponent, while Louis, on the other hand, took down a bit of a god, the Muslim. Now, the Muslim we know is a fan favorite, but he did not take down Louis. But Louis, this man has been showing up, and he's been looking scary in tournaments. Then off to Group B, Beastie, Kiliardi, B, and Zerton. Beastie 3-0ing his opponent. Zerton, our German player, not really expecting all the styles we saw from Beastie. We saw a little bit of JD play after the pros have been saying that JD is a little bit of an F-tier civilization. While on the other hand, Kiliardi taking down a man such as B. And B, once being one of the top players in the scene, has really drifted off over the last few seasons, just as I assume Zero Space, a new RTS game, is creeping closer. Group C, we move over to Papipo and Otant, who have both won their first matches 3-0, which is pretty surprising, considering that they went up against Recon and Vortex. Vortex being one of the top players in the scene, and Recon as well, known for his upsets, not necessarily being in the top 8 consistently. In the last group, we did see Lucifron take his opponent 3-1, but unfortunately, not all of the news for EGC was good news. Some of the fans were not too happy about this map pool. Now, the thing is, for a lot of people, the map pool is kind of strange because we don't see these maps on ladder. But that some players have gone to Reddit to complain. I swear, every time I tune into EGC or some other tournament stream, they are playing a water map and I instantly change the channel. I think it is an exaggeration to say that 70% of the players ban water maps on ladder. Water is the main reason people actually asked for map bans in the first place. It's the same point that was raised about Wololo using that Empires mode for the tourney. I'm not interested in watching pro players play a mode or maps that I never play on ladder. Now, I did put a voice to this man, but he's got a little bit of a point here. Things that we enjoy, maybe things that we relate to. So a lot of people have shared that sentiment, but congrats to EGC for keeping it interesting, for keeping it spicy. It's fun to see these things coming to new play, and there was also a lot of positive feedback. So another Reddit post we saw pointed out they also didn't like the water maps. And this is again something that not everyone will like. People will be divided. Some people will love them, some people will hate them. But I think a lot of us, it's about that understanding and things that we can relate to. So he says, I know this may be divisive, but I really don't enjoy the water maps. The combat is just so boring and repetitive. There is nothing unique, and I often just skip through those. Now, honestly, I kind of agree with him. And I just sit there on my chair, getting anxiety of these water fights as I'm watching them battle. Shoot little spring alt fights, go back, spring alt fights. Oh my god, is that a demo ship? It is a demo ship. It lands, it doesn't land. Arrow ships, shoot, demo ship. Demo makes it through. Oh my god, never mind, it's dead. Constant anxiety. There's never calmness on a water map, and that drives me nuts. We also had some responses from Krakeny. He said he really liked a lot of them, but some I could love without. Now, when we are playing new maps, we are always going to run into these hiccups, and unfortunately, not everyone is a fan. Now, this leads us into our next discussion, the English one. So, English is becoming a legit problem. They're both incredibly strong and super easy, and it needs work. They were the 6th most banned civ in this tournament so far. It's not good to see this at the top level, when a civ is also the easiest to play. So, with English, you have a civilization that is strong on water and land, and on this drafting system, people really focused on getting the water maps, so you don't want to give your opponent a very strong civilization on water, which English is. It's a safe pick on both sides, which is why we're getting to see them banned. So I don't think this is an indicator of how strong English is. It's just an indicator of how strong they can be on both land and water. Not that they're stronger than other civilizations, they just leave you with more options. Luckily for us, the show will go on and we will be seeing more of these. Hopefully we do see some fun ones in a ladder as well, which this other guy will probably be vetoing. Our next piece of news is the English mold, a pretty standard thing in Age of Empires as we know. Now, unfortunately for us, the English civilization has been gracing us with their white tower rushes. Now, while their pick rate is really high, this is a build that is very difficult to play against, but also it's easy to beat once you know it's coming. So we see here our Sir Dawn has reached platinum with a lot of ranked game wins. As we can see here, games played 15, meaning he won 14 of those games. And from the screenshot, I can deduce the man has used the White Tower Rush. Now, this does look very bad for HRE in the screenshot, but the fact that he got his White Tower up means he most likely lost all of his villagers. Now, this doesn't mean that you're fine, but you can probably get out of that range and start rebuilding and working on getting to a good point in the game. So I think a lot of people are seeing this like, oh, there's this White Tower in my base, this is unbeatable. But think about what counters a White Tower. When your opponent loses all of their villagers, what could you do to stop that? You know? Could you just move and get resources at a different point? Could you just keep making villages from a second TC that you're now doing with your 15 while your opponent has 0? The White Tower Rush is very powerful, but it's not unbeatable. Don't try to make it and say it's unbeatable. Just respond to it. Make a little trebuchet. Fight it. Beat it. You can do it. Everybody loves to mold a little bit about that longbow rush in your base. But now with the added benefit of the king, we have choices. And our choices are endless. So right now the English pick rate has been soaring and the Reddit posts are soaring as well. So we do see this man say, I honestly don't care if you think English is balanced, just nerf them so I don't have to play against them every fucking game. IMO, it ruins the game and it gets boring as hell. Okay, Steve, I really hope that you find a way to kill English, because English is not that hard to counter. You just make units and cut off reinforcements. English is a fine civilization to play against. You just have to catch that army just once, and they will snowball into their own little death. What makes English so prominent is that they're considered one of the most basic and simplest civilizations to learn for beginners, and you're going to see them forever and ever and ever because there's something we relate to, something we will keep playing. And unfortunately, the best for you will be to learn to counter. So one thing that I do notice a lot of people say on streams is the fact that Demu is losing another series. So Louis is fun to watch, not taking anything away from him. I just enjoy Demu's stream. He seems like a great dude, but each tourney I see him play him, I just have a little less hope that he'll actually be the top 8 player. Now, Demu is one of the most prominent streamers in Age of Empires 4, and he's also a really, really, really good player. But Demu has, you know, a family. Demu also does StarCraft casting. The man is split between a few worlds. And he's not always going to be at the top of his game, but because you see him winning ranked games all the time, you should know he's a good player. But when you're facing someone like Louis or anyone off the top 6, I would say, you're going to be running into these situations where he's just not going to make it. And that's okay, because he's a freaking awesome streamer and top player, of course. The moment he gets to focus, you will see Demu rise to the top yet again. Now, Lidicor being welcomed back is always a good sight to see. We know we all love a little bit of a Lidicor. So I think EGC really just has this strong pool of talent. And they're going to keep coming. And now, of course, the biggest news of the week is the LAN announcement. We are getting yet another LAN for Age of Empires in Denver, Colorado. So the King of the Rockies is going to be a $5,000 LAN, which is totally community funded, and we will be seeing Whamenqt there for sure, as they are their invitees, but the rest of the spots are going to be played for. So excited to see some more events coming out. I just want to give another shout out to King of the North. Guys, we have another LAN coming up in 1 month from now. You will be seeing us live in Norway. So get your socks on and be ready for A lot of LAN events this year, apparently. Who's to say there's not more to come? So, what do we have to look forward to for the rest of the week? We will be announcing our qualifiers for our Top Team Gamer event for SteelSeries, which will mean that we will be inviting 8 players, and 8 players will be qualifying. So basically, this will be a new tournament where we will make players qualify in a 1v1 tournament for a team tournament, but more on that next week, as we will be making sure that we get the best of the best on the line and making sure you see the team games that you wish you could be having. Now, for the rest of it, we will be seeing the rest of EGC's matches played out. We will be getting the winners elimination match alongside the decider match that's only happening the week after. So the groups will not be finished this week. We will only be seeing them in 2 weeks. So you have some time to get ready for the excitement. So will the water maps prevail? Will English keep getting banned? We will find out in next week's episode of This Week in AoE.